Hello and welcome to Courage to Overcome podcast. In the last episode, I talked about 4 ways to recognize and avoid manipulation. And the 4 ways, let me just go over the 4 ways again, which was manipulators are target oriented. They make unsubstantiated claims regarding your mental health. They introduce a personal view or opinion as fact, and then they also make you feel guilty or ashamed. So if you want to hear more about these ways and how to avoid these tactics, just check out my last episode to hear more on that. So today I actually want to talk about 2 more ways or 2 more tips to recognize and avoid manipulation. So the next tip is ambiguous social proof. So what is social proof? So according to Wikipedia, social proof is a psychological and social phenomenon wherein people copy the actions of others in choosing how to behave in a given situation. And for example, when a person is in a situation where they are unsure of the correct way to behave, they will often look to others for clues concerning the correct behavior. When we conform because we believe that others' interpretation of an ambiguous situation is more accurate than ours, and will help us choose an appropriate course of action. So social proof in itself is just is kind of like a psychological rule or principle which is used in persuasion, marketing and sales. What it actually is that if you tell someone that other people like them are doing the same thing, it causes them to behave in the same way. And this has been tested time and time again. And it's actually been proven according to, research and statistics. And it's based on the fact that centuries ago, if we didn't fit in, it was a threat to our survival. So we evolved knowing that fitting in assures your survival, and, you would do everything that you can to ensure that. So you would just kind of go with the flow with what everybody else is doing, just in order to fit in and also to survive at that time. So, for example, McDonald's in some of their signs, or in a few of their signs, will say like over billions are being served. This is social proof marketing, which is a fact. Many billions all over the world are eating McDonald's. So it is a fact. And then also customer reviews are also a great marketing example, because most people will not purchase a product without reading customer reviews, myself included. There is safety and confidence in the fact that many others have bought the product and are happy with it. But ambiguous social proof is very different from that, because it's not actually based in facts at all. And so this is where the manipulator comes in. This is the manipulator attempting to use social proof in order to manipulate you to think that there's something horribly wrong here. So, for example, they might say something like, oh, well, everybody knows how angry you get all the time. Or everybody at the party was talking about how you embarrassed yourself. This is what gaslighters will use a lot. They will use social proof that, this is what other people are saying about you. This is what these people are saying about you. So how do you deal with this? Well, you can ask one of the questions. If you listen to my earlier episode, I will, there were some questions that you needed to ask. So just listen to that. So as earlier, just ask one of the questions as earlier, like, how do you know that? How do you know that? Or why do you say that? So now they have to bring facts and evidence to back that up. But the best way to deal with ambiguous social proof is ambiguous social proof. So if someone is trying to gaslight you and manipulate you, and they say something like, everybody says how angry you are, you simply say, well, that's funny. Everyone I talk to says what a happy person I am. So, because they now realize how ridiculous their statement is, and that this invisible, mysterious everybody doesn't matter, then it just goes right out of the window. The only thing they can come back with is if they say, "Who said that?" or "Tell me who said that." And then you can go ahead and say, "Well, you tell me first who said that to you." And most of the time, they're not going to want to do any of that. The next tip is manipulators prefer to work one person at a time, like one-on-one. They prefer to try and manipulate just you and not anyone else there, because it's a lot harder to manipulate a group of people, and it's harder to manipulate someone when there's witnesses around. So what do you do? How do you deal with that? What do you do to protect yourself is to consult a third party. And as much as possible, that third party as a witness. Though the most obvious application of this is in legal situations, is where you ask for a lawyer. That's, obviously for legal, in legal situations. But my advice, because I'm a true crime, I love listening to true crime, and I've seen the situations that people have gotten into because they have not kept this rule in mind. So make this a rule in your head that if ever police ever ask you to come in to answer some questions, always have a lawyer present. Always. Just say to them, "Oh yes, I'll be happy to answer your questions, as long as, let me just, speak to my lawyer first of all. Or as long as I can have a lawyer present, then yeah, definitely I can answer your questions." Always have a lawyer present, because you may be going in to help them or think that you're helping them, and then all of a sudden they switch it all around on you. And there are so many people in jail right now for something they didn't do because they didn't have a lawyer. So that's just a sidebar anyway. Also, in sales, if you're going to buy a car or some big purchase, always bring someone with you. People attempt manipulation less sometimes when there's more than one person there. And I gave some examples in the first episode that I discussed this, So like I said, people attempt manipulation less sometimes when there's more than one person there. But unfortunately, if you have no one else and it's only you and this person is trying to manipulate you, you can say, "Okay, you know what, hold on for a minute. Let me verify that." That could make a manipulator really nervous. They don't like to be proven wrong. They don't want to be disproven. They don't like to be proved as a liar. So that's another way of dealing with it. So if someone says to you, "Everyone agrees you were so embarrassing at the party last night," you could say, "Really? That's quite concerning. Okay, you know what? Let me call Tom." Tom was obviously there at the party. So let me call Tom and speak to him about that and see what he says. Then they'll get very nervous and will probably discontinue the conversation. So you can always fact check with another person that what they're saying is true or not. So in conclusion, if you feel you're being manipulated or something feels even a little bit off, stop and think about it. Always ask questions. Always ask for proof or evidence or facts. Don't just accept everything the manipulator is saying, or any person, any person, as a matter of fact. Don't accept everything they are saying as the truth. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please subscribe if you enjoy my content, and I'll meet with you again in the next episode. Take care.